We've had some emails from viewers asking about a gentleman's beard. How do you achieve the look?
I like to use a combination of olive oil and Pam.
1, 2, 3. Hey, all right. Good job. Yeah. Welcome, everyone.
Yeah.
Welcome to Art This number 19.
19.
Yes, hard to believe. And we have an action-packed show
do.
as usual
Yes.
for the people at home. I want to warn the Art This binge watchers, though. We got some reports from our market researchers that you are filling up on pork rinds, and it's not recommended.
Chicharrones.
No, that's not part of the low-fat diet. But we have some really interesting things happening today. First, all during the show, please observe Lin Wang is with us. She is from the Department of Art and Design, and she will be doing her specialty, disc painting. And so we'll watch her disc come together during the show, and then we'll have an interview and visit with her at the end. I also have a feature with Diana Foreman, who is a craft artist. So we'll be rolling that in Art This from the Field. But tell us who's in studio. Very excited.
Very excited. A longtime friend of mine, longtime musician with over 30 years of experience in the Nashville and country scene. My good friend Tony Pence is going to be here with us. Awesome. Very excited.
Excellent. So we'll be right back with Art This.
All right. Thank you all and welcome back. And it's with much pleasure here to introduce my longtime friend Tony Pence to the Art This stage. Let me talk a little bit about some of Tony's history here. Tony's been writing songs since the early 1980s and has toured with his compadres, the Southern Junction Band. His songs are published by Grand Entertainment and Grand Haven Music in Nashville and Hendersonville, Tennessee. Tony has primarily written songs with Clinton Land and the late Fred Brown Jr., having recorded well over 100 songs throughout the years. Tony's a 30-year veteran of the country music scene. Singer-songwriter with such songs as Jack and Thelma and Someone I Used to Be have charted nationally and in Europe. Pence is a hard-edged storyteller who lives in the Harlan Howard motto, 3 chords and the truth. Tony's played all over the Commonwealth and the region with his hard-edged storytelling style and was even featured as a performer along with MSU's Glenn Ginn at the 2013 President Obama inaugural ball. This will be Tony's first live performance for us here on Art This. Tony and I have had a long friendship, a lot of Appalachian cultural discussions, and a few times served as tag team partners in a few rowdy places throughout the state. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, if you will please welcome Mr. Tony Pence to the Art This stage. Tony.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you. I might as well start out with a tune called, it's a song called Jack and Thelma, and it's about my grandparents, and it's every word is true, so I hope you enjoy it. He had to walk half a mile up an old dirt road to a shack of a house that he heated with coal, but it was home. His home was all that he had. Well, it's hard to raise 8 kids on a quarry worker's pay. Played music on Sunday when he took the time to pray. He was a poor man. And around here, poor people pray. He used to walk up and down that road at night, trying to figure out what was wrong and what was right. And I think that he found what he was looking for when Brother Vern, he walked my Papaw Jack right to heaven's door. Well, now the cows get in the yard and the grass gets too high. The trees are all dead that we used to climb, but they're still there. They stand stately in her front yard. My grandma raised her family there with two hard-working hands and a lot of prayers. You know she was ready, just any time her Lord come to call. She used to walk up and down that road at night, step by step, with or without moonlight. And I think that she found what she was looking for, 'cause there's a bunch of angels sitting on Thelma's porch. Thank you. Steve mentioned earlier a fellow named Fred Brown that I'd written some songs with that has passed, and I'm going to play a tune now. It's called "The Banks of Jordan," and it's about a dream that Fred had about meeting his grandpa at the mighty river of Jordan, you know, where we cross over to the other side, and that's where his dream was. And so that's what this song is about. Well, I dreamed of my granddaddy standing hale and whole in a way I had not seen him in 20 years or more. Well, he smiled when he first saw me. Tears filled up my eyes when he said, "Son, I'll wait for you. There is no need to cry, 'cause I'll be standing on the banks of Jordan, standing on the banks of Jordan. Be standing on the banks of Jordan, looking out from the other side." Well, then I looked around him, and I saw gathered there a host of loving faces with smiles so warm and fair. My granny said, "I've seen the city, boy, where the streets are paved with gold, and there is no want or hunger there, no heartaches, tears, or cold. And we're all standing on the banks of Jordan, standing on the banks of Jordan. Yes, we're standing on the banks of Jordan, reaching out from the other side. Well, there's a wide and mighty river that in time we all must cross as we step into forever, and our bodies here are lost. We are children of the Spirit, and our time on earth is small. Some say we are the dust of stars that from heaven once did fall. Well, we're all travelers to the banks of Jordan, travelers to the banks of Jordan. Yes, we're travelers to the banks of Jordan, yearning for the other side.
All right. Thank you all, and welcome back. And I am here with my longtime friend, Mr. Tony Pence. Tony, thank you for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Tony and I we go way back, and we've been in a few dim-lit places throughout the Commonwealth, that's for sure. But I wanted to give Tony the opportunity now to talk a little bit about how he got into playing music and how your musical sound came to be.
Yeah, well, you know, well, I grew up in a household of music, you know, and it was always around, so it was very readily available. But I really didn't get into playing too much until, well, I played drums in a little band when I was a teenager, but I didn't really get into playing the guitar or anything or singing until I was in 20 or so. And then that kindly, we just started out with a band and started the Southern Junction Band. And then we did that for several years, and then I got really sick and had to quit for a while, and I had a lung infection. And ended up getting married and having a child, and you know, the music thing just went by the wayside with that. And then 20 or so years later, I met some guys, and we formed Big Ugly. the band that we traveled with quite a bit, and recorded some stuff and really had a lot of fun with those guys. But it just came out of a love for just wanting to do it, you know. And of course the money's great too, you know.
Well, that helps, right?
It helps. You know, we just made the same amount of money in 1982 that we made in 2002, so, you know.
Talk a little bit about your sound and your kind of songwriting prowess. When you wrote songs with the late Fred Brown and other folks, was there a certain method or a certain way of telling a story you were trying to tell?
You know, Fred was probably one of the most prolific writers of all sorts of prose that I've ever known. You know, he's written 2 or 3 books, and he could churn out songs, you know, 4 and 5 a day. He literally had that kind of a mind. And when it was with Fred, he would come and he would have the song, the lyrics basically written, and the challenge was then to put music to it and, you know, make word adjustments to make the lyric rhyme or whatever it might be. With Clint Land, writing with him, the song "Someone I Used to Be" that I will do later, is pretty much the same way. A very wordy fella his nickname's Word Man. He's written several songs with Greg Austin and some of the Lexington people. That's where he's from. And because the writing with Clint was more involved. And then when I write songs by myself, Jack and Thelma is a tune that I wrote, you know, myself. I like to tell the story so that I could try to take you there, you know, so that you could close your eyes and listen, and you could literally be there in that place is what the goal is. So that's pretty much what developed it, you know, and growing up on Waylon Jennings and loving that outlaw country sound. That was the popular thing when I was a teenager. So, you know, you get used to the bass and the drums and the steel guitar and that particular sound, which now, you know, younger kids that are that age are drifting backwards by going forward with the bluegrass and the acoustic sounds. Right. You know, very popular groups out. You know, Avett Brothers and a lot of those people were very acoustic. And but you know, what I grew up on was Ludwig drums and loud bass guitars and PVPA systems. You know, and that was the thing. And but that's where we developed that. And it fortunately was made the acquaintance with several great musicians over the years. You know, from Jesse Wells here in town, played a lot with us, and JT here, who's out now with Chris. You know, those guys played a lot. In town here years ago, Larry Whitt, who's still active in Ashland, had a band with him for many, the Southern Junction Band. And I attribute the sound more to those guys than really anything I did.
Well, you played for the 2013 inauguration, right?
We did. The Kentucky Society of Washington is the organization.
Interesting name.
If you're not aware of that, you're going to be going to D.C., you should learn about them, because they'll make sure that, they take care of people from Kentucky up there. And so they had one of 19 or 20 inaugural balls, and we were able to play that. And it was when Steve Snyder and Gordon Tao, they were still here, and Paul Dethridge and Danny Cecil, the bass player, and Glenn, of course, and Lisa, his wife, and I went and played for 1,200 people in tuxedos, and they sung along on "I Got Friends in Low Places." It was really a fun time. It was a unique, very, very unique thing, but it was very, very fun, and you just no way to describe that really.
Yeah, Tony and I, we've known each other for a long time. We used to co-host every now and again his show, The Country Jukebox. Some of the best memories I had of talking about this type of music. But would you stick around and play one more song for us?
Sure.
All right.
We'd love to.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Pence. He'll be back with a little bit more right after this.
Thank you.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, John.
How are you?
I'm good.
What is that beautiful instrument you're playing?
Why, John, this is a Lee Oscar harmonica.
Do tell.
People ask me all the time what type of harmonicas I prefer. I prefer Lee Oscar. Lee Oscar harmonica is the preferred harmonica with professional harp players and TV show hosts.
If I didn't know better, I'd swear Steve was doing a commercial for our first sponsor.
That's right. Lee Oscar harmonica is the sponsor for Art This. And one of the things with Lee Oscar, folks, if you're curious in playing harmonicas, each Lee Oscar harmonica comes with a unique quick guide to inform you to how to play harmonicas with various styles of music.
All I can say is Art This.
Art
Thanks,
This.
Lee.
Thanks, Lee.
Steve, if you gotta have one more tune, I might as well do you a honky tonk song here about the people that we used to be here. This is a song that did chart for me in America and over in Europe on Christian country radio, and it's music with a message. This is a song called Someone I Used to Be. You see that man on the bar stool, the third one from the end. The barmaid is his lady, Kentucky bourbon is his friend. He'll be right there to closing time and get so drunk that he can't see. But he reminds me of someone that I used to be. Well, I was a high, lonesome rambler, sometimes a gambler, lots of fair weather friends. All alone in the darkness, when all the fun came to an end. Then God sent you to me, and you set me free. My angel that saved me from someone that I used to be. You see, that was my bar stool, and I was there most every night. Lord knows I tried my hardest, I just could not drink things right. And I'd fallen to the bottom when you got to me. My angel that saved me from someone that I used to be. I was a high, lonesome rambler, sometimes a gambler, lots of fair weather friends. All alone in the darkness, when all the fun came to an end. Then God sent you to me, and you set me free. My angel that saved me from someone that I used to be. My angel that saved me from someone that I used to be. Appreciate that.
Yeah, that's more like it.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Art This likes to get out into the field and visit with artists in their natural habitat as much as possible. And we were thrilled this show to have a visit with Diana Foreman from Round County, Kentucky. She lives south of Moorhead a ways, and she is a craft artist with a range of extraordinary abilities and an excellent eye for what looks good on people.
My name is Diana Foreman. I do picture engravings on charms. I do a lot of wood crafts, handcrafted jewelry. My mom was an artist. She has a master's degree in art, and my family has a long history of art. So we just kind of grew up in 4-H and so forth, and we were just always taught to be creative with it. This is my Grinch stocking holder. We're just finishing up the touches with it. We have some light green pencil marks here where I was going to add the little dog, but it didn't seem to quite work out. I have a girlfriend at work, and she was telling me about a stocking holder she had, and across the top of it there is a board, and his arms, it's a Santa Claus, and his arms hang out like this, and then the stockings hang from his arms. And I thought, well, that's kind of big and bulky for me to be taking to like shows and so forth. So I thought, why not just make them like this? We have several different ones we're going to be making. I have a nutcracker I need to make that's already sold. We're doing a Santa Claus. We're getting ready to start a reindeer one. I really enjoy it, so there's a lot of different avenues I can go with it. We're actually working on some dragon eggs. Now these are a couple of our eggs. There is approximately 800 to 850 tacks, and you have to paint them individually and let them dry, and then you start putting them on there. My daughter, she is constantly online, and she finds all these different ideas. That's where the geek part comes in. And what I'm finding out is a lot of the 20 to 25-year-old people, most of them are geeks, but it's a good thing. You know, not that it was ever bad for me, but she has all these different ideas, and where I'm limited to what I grew up with, she has a whole world of computer knowledge and this and that she bases a lot of her ideas on. So it works out great. Well, when we have a show, the week before the show, we are busy getting everything ready, last minute items, and it's maddening. It's a rush, and it's tense, and then we pack everything up, try to get it packed the night before. That doesn't always work, so in the morning we have to get up extra early to pack. I get to meet a lot of different crafters. Like yesterday I met a gentleman who takes and makes items out of old silverware. He makes elephants and jewelry and things out of old silverware, and just trading knowledge on different things, because what he does may not be something I do, but it gives me an idea of something else I want to try. So I don't want to do things that everybody else is doing, but everybody has different ideas, and they help spur your ideas. Actually, there was a lady that I have done numerous engravings for. I work with her husband, but I have not met her, and we have been associates now for maybe 3 or 4 years. So yesterday she was at the sale, and I finally got to meet her, and right in the middle of all these customers, she is going on about these engravings I have done for her. What I usually tell my customers is that you can email me a picture or send me a picture. If you live locally, I'll even arrange to meet you to get the picture, because a lot of the older people do not have the internet and whatnot. So once I get the picture, it takes me 3 to 5 days to do all the editing. I do all my editing in-house. I am extremely picky about the quality of the work that I give my customer. Normally it's people that has passed away. It has to do with cherishing memories. I'll get like little charms that says memory of mom, dad, sister, loving memory, birthstones, things like that. These are things that I like for people to pass on to their kids, or down the line. And the same with my business. What I'm doing with it is something I want to pass on to my kids.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. You probably noticed here on stage left all during the show, Lin Wang has been working diligently on disc painting. She's been working off of a photograph of Miami, Florida. Let's see what you've produced during the show. Lin, thank you so much for coming on.
No problem.
Talk about how you got started painting discs, of all things.
So I've always been into art. I'm an art major right now, but I started this past summer. So the summer before I started college, I'm a freshman right now. And one of my friends, it was my friend's birthday, and like I always try to do something creative instead of just like going out and buying stuff. So I decided to paint a CD for him because his name it reminds me of a CD. So I was like, oh, it's like a cool pun we have between us. So I decided to paint the school he goes to on the CD, and I sent it to him. And I posted a picture on my social media site, and then got like over 200 likes, and all my friends were like, oh, I want one of those. And then I was like, oh, maybe I could start this into something more. And since I didn't have anything to do that summer, since I just graduated high school and I wasn't coming here until like August, so I decided to start my own business.
Now, you're a student in the Department of
Yes,
Art and Design
yes.
now. What are your hopes for when you're finished?
I'm actually a double major in computer science and art. I'm probably going to minor in math, so it's a lot, yeah. And it's really different things, but I hope to be able to combine both computer science and art, and I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with it, but I want to major in something that makes me happy, and art is exactly what that is.
Very good. Well, you've got a great start. I wish you the best of
you.
luck. Thank you so much for coming on. Let's hear it for Lin Wang. All right. Thank you, Lin. How about that?
Hey.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Another great show. Thank you so much, Stephen, for having Tony in.
Yeah, Tony.
Nice work.
We go way back, and I'm glad we finally got him in here.
Yes, and outstanding work and unusual work from Lin.
Right.
Really
wow.
nice.
Impressive.
And Diana Foreman, she is just busy as anything. I believe she's expanding her business now, so we can watch for more from her over the next few months. And so thanks to Diana for participating on the program. What's coming up on Art This 20? We got something special.
It's our anniversary show, right? It's Big 2-0, right? We got a cake artist who's going to make a specific 2-0 cake for us for Art This.
So the audience and the crew will
Yes.
be able to eat the cake
Eat
at
the
the end of the
cake.
show.
We'll
On
have our
camera,
cake
there
and
will be
eat it.
slobbering. All right,
That's
this should be
right,
good.
yeah.
We should probably get out of here, shouldn't we?
Probably
Let's
should.
do it.
Ready?
1, 2, 3.